Hi guys, this is our first video in the weather unit. Today we are talking about Earth's atmosphere. So this diagram is showing the atmosphere. Here obviously is Earth. The atmosphere is divided into several different layers. But before we talk about that, let's talk about how the atmosphere has changed over time. So what's holding the gases close to the Earth and not in space is gravity, which we've already talked about. So Earth's gravity is affecting gases as well as solids like you and me. Earth's early atmosphere was outgassed from the interior through release of gases and volcanic eruptions. So the atmosphere came from inside the Earth. Many factors such as solar radiation and photosynthesis help change the atmosphere today to be what it is. The different layers of the atmosphere are the Troposphere, Stratosphere, Mesosphere, Thermosphere, and Exosphere. The Troposphere is the layer that's closest to the Earth, and this is the layer where all of the weather happens. So all these layers up here don't have any weather. We live in the Troposphere, clouds, storms, precipitation, and as you get higher up, the temperature gets colder. Above the Troposphere is the Stratosphere. The Stratosphere starts about right at 20 kilometers and up to 50 kilometers. This is where most jets fly, and weather balloons are found there, like this one. The ozone layer is also found in the stratosphere, and the temperature actually gets hotter as you go higher up, which is unusual because the ozone absorbs the UV rays and that keeps the air warm. So because of the ozone layer, this layer has a little bit different temperature situation going on. You probably know that the ozone layer is endangered right now, and that's because of a lot of human effects, which we'll talk about later on. Next layer of the atmosphere is the Mesosphere. Meso means middle, so you can remember that the Mesosphere is in the middle of the atmospheric layers. The Mesosphere is a very cold layer of the atmosphere, and the temperature decreases as you get higher up, and meteors burn at this layer. Above the Mesosphere is the Thermosphere. The Thermosphere is the hottest layer of the atmosphere. It's over 1,000 degrees. You can remember this because thermo means heat, like a thermometer measures heat. In the Thermosphere, the air is so thin that temperature cannot be measured with a thermometer, but instead the motion of the particles that are there is used to measure the temperature. The air in the Thermosphere is divided into two layers, which is the Exosphere and the Ionosphere, which is being shown in here. The Ionosphere is the location where the northern lights occurs, and radio waves are reflected back to Earth from the Ionosphere. So the reason that you can hear the radio playing is because of the Ionosphere, which is inside the Thermosphere. It's called the Ionosphere because the sun's energy is breaking apart into ions, which are just charged atoms. In the Exosphere, satellites orbit. It's the very last layer of the atmosphere before you enter into space. As I said before, the temperature varies a lot in the different layers of the atmosphere. Down here is the Troposphere where we live. The temperature is between 0 and about 50 degrees Celsius. This is not Fahrenheit. And then there's a little boost here in the Stratosphere where the ozone is, and then a big boost in the Thermosphere where it gets very hot. So you can see that the temperature is slowly rising until it's up here at about 1,000 degrees here in the Thermosphere. Now, after the Thermosphere, the temperature will drop again in the Exosphere. Before I wrap up, I just want to talk a little bit about what the atmosphere is made of. There are many different gases that are in the atmosphere. It's not only oxygen. You might think about air as just oxygen because that's what you breathe, but actually oxygen is only 20% of the air that's around you. Most of the air is nitrogen, and some of it is carbon dioxide, which is what you're breathing out. So you're breathing in oxygen and out carbon dioxide, and plants are doing the opposite through photosynthesis. They are breathing in carbon dioxide and out oxygen. So that's it for today. Hope you guys learned something about the atmosphere, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.